Welcome back to Brussels Forum. This is the session Security and Democracy in the Indo-Pacific, a View from Taiwan. I am your moderator, Bethany Allen Abrahamian, the China reporter at Axios. Today, we will be joined by legislator Wang Dingyu from Taiwan and Representative Michael McCaul. I will now introduce our two speakers. Legislator Wang Dingyu is a member of parliament in Taiwan and is a member of the Democratic Progressive Party. He serves on the Foreign Affairs and National Defense Committee and is the chair of the Parliamentary Human Rights Caucus. Representative Michael McCaul is the Republican leader of the House Foreign Affairs Committee. He has also served as the chairman of the China Task Force. Representative McCaul will be joining us shortly. He is coming over from the halls of Congress, where he has been participating in a vote. So I will begin our questions I will begin the conversation with Legislator Wang, who has prepared some brief opening remarks. Legislator Wang, over to you.
Ms. Bethany and everyone here, it's my pleasure and honor to be here. It's midnight in Taiwan, but just like the crisis across the street, even it's dark, but we can see the light and the hope. And thanks for all of you concerned my country, Taiwan. Taiwan is a regional important position. There are four major crises in Indo-Pacific: North Korea, East China Sea, Taiwan Strait, and the South China Sea. And in this area, once Taiwan can get stabilized, the situation will be stabilized too. So it's my honor to be here to share some experiences and something what I know to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. I will begin my questions, and if you are in the audience and you would like to pose a question, you can send that in and we will address them at the end. The US has long maintained a policy of strategic ambiguity regarding whether or not it would come to Taiwan's aid if Taiwan were to face an attack or invasion from China. Would clarifying the US commitment to Taiwan's defense help to deter PLA aggression?
Now the situation in this area is quite different with 10 years ago. Since 2013, PLA, they have modernized their equipment, especially in Air Force and the Navy. So now they try to be single superpower in Asia. And according to Xi Jinping's agenda, this year, 2021, is their party, CCP's 100 years centennial. And 2027 will be PLA. They will celebrate their 100 years anniversary, and they have a statement. They will become a single superpower at that moment, 2027. So now in Asia, Chinese military aggressive activities irritate this area. South China Sea, you can see Xi Jinping's good friend, Philippines government, they got annoyed by Chinese civil militia boat to harass their sea coast. And Malaysia and Indonesia, they have some chaos with Chinese Coast Guard in their economic territory. And India, they has border problem with China. Now Taiwan, of course, we have a complicated situation with China. So when China they think they have confidence, can dominate this area. The ambiguity, the strategic ambiguity may causing some miscalculation. That would be the huge risk. In this area, it will influence global economy severely. And so many people here, so many different races, so many democracies country here. So I respect American government's strategic ambiguity before, but now we have to propose a warning. Now, according what we know and according our intelligence, in China, they have confidence. They are cocky. They think they can play a dominant role in this area. So sometimes you can feel they using their economy power to using that as a sharp power, try to influence the other government like Australia. Sometimes they send their warship to the other country's economic area. They don't care about international regulation and the rules. So if we keep like the ambiguity before, this ambiguity make them guess maybe United States will get involved, maybe not, but they don't dare to violate that imagination line. But now, if they still facing the fake, the vague and the ambiguity attitude from the world, especially United States, the miscalculation itself will be the huge risk. So maybe we should adjust a little, not totally crystal clear, but should send some clear and signal to China government, something they cannot violate. If they violate red line, that will causing global problems. No one will tolerate that. Maybe this signal can be sent by United States because United States and the China Beijing government like two poles in this region. All the country from Southeast Asia to Northeast Asia, they are watching, they are observing. They need confidence from democracy and the freedom country like United States.
You mentioned gray zone activity or a sort of gray war. This kind of hybrid warfare is something that Europe and the United States are increasingly dealing with and increasingly focusing on, but it's fairly new in our consciousness. But Taiwan has been dealing with China's gray zone activities for a long time, and you could say is in fact ground zero for disinformation, for cyber attacks, and for political interference. But Taiwan has been able to fight back pretty effectively. Can you explain how Taiwan has been able to push back against these campaigns by China and what European countries and the US and Canada can learn from Taiwan's experience?
First of all, I have to say, Taiwan, we have to uh, survive from those hybrid warfare or something attack from China. We have faced Chinese threat for decades, for more than 50 years, from hot war to cold war, and from hybrid warfare to cyber attack, something like that. We are so close to China, and we have complicated relationship with China. So it's not easy to counter that kind of attack. First, we need to analyze the gray zone because something, for example, they send hundreds of fish boats, and their military personnel hiding behind that. When they come to our region, how would our Coast Guard or our Navy to deal with that? Yeah, it looks like a civilian, but when they switch or change their uniform, pull out their machine gun, 3 minutes they will become the military activities. It's short time to respond to that. And in the cyber, it's the same. Taiwan is a fully democracy open society, so we don't have some kind of restriction to our internet activities. So they can bury their account inside of Taiwan. They can establish many company organizations in Taiwan, and those companies and those organizations control hundreds, thousands fake or we call it tours account. And when they need, they can use those accounts to send the same words, the same annoying information, the same fact disinformation to make your society, people from different parties attack each other, causing by their fake information. So in Taiwan, before 2018, we have suffered from that. So since then, we make some basic regulation. First, to define what kind of disinformation government can interfere, can get into to stop it. First, it need to be fake. Second, it need to the bad intention. The third, it causing damage to our society. Any disinformation meet these three conditions, our authorities can do something to that. So when we have this regulation, we try to calculate how many disinformation to attack Taiwan. I give you one figures. Each day in Taiwan, there are more 2,000 different type, different content fake news. And each one of them can be shared through some platform, social media, or some true media to spread it. So more than 2,000 fake news and disinformation, and derive thousands, 10,000s of fake information to our society, causing, we call that perception misleading or perception occupation. You just imagine when your people wake up in the morning, when you brush your teeth, you raise your mobiles, the first news you watch sent by this kind of disinformation. So it's serious. So we using the three definition: fake, bad intention, causing damage. Then we ask all the administration related to those fake news, they have to respond correct information within 1 hour. Then share this correct over to correct information back to internet. And our people, when we can verify this is a true information, everybody share to occupy back the space of perception. So that's the first way we should do. Secondly, we have a special unit in our police department and try to locate where is this information sent from. If this misinformation, this information sent from overseas, that means we cannot arrest them immediately. We will reveal what is the fake news. Let our people know it's fake, it's damaging, it's hurting our society. If the disinformation created domestically, we will try to locate the IP address, try to find out it's a sabotage activities and sponsored by China. We try to find out that it's a spy manipulation activities or just some politic activities, then go into our law system. So we are using this to deal with those disinformation. Till now, we still have a lot of things need to improve. We need connection with the international society. We need cooperation with United States, Europe. All of democracy countries need to cooperate to punish this disinformation. We think disinformation will be a disaster to democracy if we don't deal with that.
And I think what's so valuable about Taiwan's experience is, as you said, Taiwan is a fully functioning and healthy democracy that must balance the needs of free speech and a free media with disinformation that originates in an authoritarian foreign government. So thank you for sharing with us those experiences over the past couple of years that Taiwan has hashed out. As an update, I would like to let the audience know that Representative McCall will not be joining us for the rest of the conversation. I do have now a question from the audience for Legislator Wong. At the G7 and NATO summit, we saw greater US-European focus and alignment on China policy. Were there any points that came out of the G7 or NATO summit that were particularly noteworthy from a Taiwanese perspective?
China, they try very hard to make Taiwan issue become their domestic issue. Take a look at Hong Kong. Once Hong Kong become Chinese domestic issue, yesterday, just a couple hours ago, they arrest the pressmen, the media. They go into Apple Daily and to ask them to give all the resources of their news, including names. And they ask them to stop print newspapers. They take over their properties, and they has their editors, 5 of their editors, arrested to the police station, and according to the national security law, Hong Kong edition. And the law is no regulation. If you make Chinese CCP angry, they can use that law to arrest you. So China wants Xinjiang Uyghurs become their domestic issue. Then you cannot interfere what they are doing to those poor people. Tibet, Hong Kong people. So let's move back to Taiwan. We have never been part of China, not even 1 second. Taiwan is an independent status since 1945. And we have our election, we have our military, and we try very hard to keep our democracy when we are facing such a giant threat. Even we try to deal with disinformation, we don't violate the free speech, the right of people. So when we see G7, they say that the importance of Taiwan Strait, peace and stability. We are touched. And it's not only G7. 2+2 meeting, United States with Japan. United States has meeting with Korea, and President Biden to see Suga or South Korea's president. They all mention the importance to keep Taiwan Strait, peace and stability. But words is not enough. Like yesterday, China sent 28 fighters. Their Air Force sent 28 flights to our southeast ADIZ zone. And when the numbers of the flights is so many, sometimes it's causing some misunderstanding, because 28 flights can causing a war. So we need to protect our air. We need to protect our territory. So we have to send our Air Force too. We're using our missiles to aim to monitoring those intruders. And American National Administration, the speaker, Suppo, said that will causing miscalculation. That's risky. So China doing that almost every day to Taiwan. So if the world can realize Taiwan is the front line, facing the threat from a dictatorship, and we are democracy countries, and we are the number 10 economy entities in the world.
Great. We are back with Legislator Wong, who has been able to rejoin us. I would like to switch now to talking about the World Health Organization and the World Health Assembly. Now, Taiwan has been one of the most successful examples in combating the coronavirus pandemic, and yet Taiwan remains excluded from the World Health Assembly. Tell us, how can countries who would support Taiwan's admittance to the World Health Organization and Assembly, what can be done? What are practical steps to get Taiwan back in?
We feel frustrated about enter WHO or as an observer in WHA. We have struggled for these years. The universal value, according to the slogan of WHO, leave no one behind. There are 23 million people in Taiwan. We are the only one left behind in the world. And 18 years ago, when SARS comes out from China, no one notified Taiwan. We got no information, we got no help, and we lost dozens of lives. And we suffer from that. So that's the time Taiwan to build a system to prevent epidemic, pre-warning system, and how to isolate the epidemic, and how to cure, how to storage the necessary resources. Why we are so cautious? Because we are isolated from WHO. Sometimes we get information, sometimes we don't. And especially China try to block the connection between Taiwan and the world. So I have to say we try very hard. And this time, coronavirus, COVID-19, why Taiwan is the first country find out something wrong? Because we are cautious, because we don't believe the information from China. So in 2019, December, we are the first country in the world. We asked all the flight from China, Wuhan, when they arrive at our airport, our quarantine people will go to their airplane to check their body temperature. So we are first to take our action. That's how we protect our country. And now we are suffer from the surge of local COVID-19 cases in Taiwan. But I believe we will control this outbreak within 2 weeks, and we try to get some vaccine. And if you read the newspaper, you will see Chinese they try to interfere the normal interaction between Taiwan and the vaccine producer. We try to buy some vaccine. They using their economy power to threaten those vaccine produce company. Don't sell vaccine to Taiwan. However, we still got vaccine, and we know we will face this kind of blockade. So we try to produce our own vaccine, and I believe our own vaccine will be authorized within 2 weeks. So back to WHO. I do appreciate United States, Japanese government, a lot of friends. You all speak fair words in WHO. You all say, if we don't like Taiwan participate in WHO, even as a humble observer, it's okay. If we leave these 23 million people outside of WHO, that means in the world there is a black hole over there. That's risk. That's risk. We are causing damage to the whole human beings. And Taiwan, we are very good at healthcare, and we are very good. We have a lot of outstanding nurses and doctors. We can contribute what we have to the world. So if the world can step further, as the WHO accept these 23 million people, that will benefit Taiwan, also benefit the world. And now the only block in the way is China government. I have no answer for this. We have seen so many international friends working very hard for Taiwan. We are touched. We do appreciate that, but it's still not successful. We have been blocked out of WHO for years. So every time when you have meeting conference inside the WHO, we have to rent hotel, the conference room outside of the WHO meeting room, and invite those people who participate in formal WHO meeting come to join Taiwan side meeting, and to get some exchange information and experiences. We survive from this. So appreciate that, and maybe can do more to let these 23 million people has their own representative in this organization, leave no one behind.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Legislator Wong. That marks the end of this session, Security and Democracy in the Indo-Pacific, A View from Taiwan. Please stick around for the next session, which is a conversation with Armin Laschet. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.